So, first question, maybe describe a typical first date like you might have had in the past.
A typical first date for me would just be, I guess, dinner and a movie. Um, Nothing too extravagant.
Yeah. In a first date, do you sometimes maybe feel a bit awkward, like you don't know what to do or what to say to know each other?
Oh yeah, first dates are definitely really awkward because you don't really know the person. You're trying to get to know them, ask them what they like, and all that kind of stuff.
Would you maybe give an example, like in the past, if you have this kind of situation?
Well, I had a first date at a movie theater one time, and it was just really awkward because you don't talk during a movie, and so you don't really get to know the person either. So it's kind of like, hello, watch a movie, and then it's like, goodbye, and that's it. So I would really like to try something where, I actually get to know somebody well without like having the awkwardness of, sitting at a dinner table talking while eating.
So, have you ever had a first date where you feel that you really want to leave because there's no connection, but you will feel a bit obliged to stay because you need to be polite?
Yes, I think that's every first date. A lot of first dates can be awkward and you don't have too much in common and there are awkward silences. So it'd be nice to, be able to do something really interactive and really get to know somebody rather than just awkwardly sit with them and have to do things with them.
What do you feel at that moment if there's a sudden silence, you don't know what to talk? Would you feel like...
If there's an awkward silence, and I try to talk. I talk a lot, actually, if there are awkward silences. So I feel like I'm the one that has to bridge in the gap between me and the person. And it's a lot of pressure.
Do you have an example? Let's say that you...
I'm trying to think.
You could be all this silence, or could be another kind of embarrassing moment or awkward moment. Is there any case like that?
Besides the movie incident, I don't think so. Because like I said, I'm really talkative. Like I'll talk to try to fill in that gap so there isn't an awkward silence. Because usually people run out of things to say. You don't really know each other. You're just talking to talk to fill in those gaps.
Do you feel sometimes maybe you meet someone and then it's really different from you thought that person would be, and you're just like, oh,
Yes, I've had many first dates where we just don't connect.
Okay, you mentioned that you have done quite a lot of first date. Do you ever worry about the safety aspect to meeting someone, complete stranger, for the first time?
Oh yeah, there's definitely always a safety concern with meeting new people because you never know who people are or what they may do or what their intentions are, but you kind of just have to go with it. But now in this day and age, there's more technology that we can use that'll prevent things like that.
Do you ever had any bad experience?
Oh no, never, thank God, but I don't want to experience that either. So better safe than sorry.
In terms of the safety aspect, does it actually prevent you, like, it's one of the criteria for you to meet new people?
Does it prevent me from meeting new people?
Does it restrict you to see someone?
Yes, I don't think I'd ever try to meet somebody I met on the internet. That's not something I've ever done. So I do have safety concerns. So I like to meet people in person. I like to see a face. I like to actually know that they're good people before I actually go out with them by myself.
Okay, but you said that you have a lot of first dates, but you've always known
I've always known them, yes.
Okay, through friends.
Yeah, through
family.
friends or they work with me or something like that. I know them somehow, but I'm really skeptical of people I meet online.
When you count on the total time it takes you to, let's say, find a person to date, arrange the date itself, and also the actual date, how much time would you say each date will take you on average?
Oh, to get ready and everything and to plan a date, it would probably take me about a couple days, It's actually a lot of work planning a first date and planning to meet and having to organize and all that kind of stuff. And then the actual act of getting ready, it'd probably take me 2 hours to do that by itself. So there's a lot of time that's taken when you're, planning a first date.
Have you ever tried VR?
No, I've never tried VR, but it looks really cool. It's like a little mini computer inside. This is really cool. Do I try it on? Oh, this is really cool.
When you first heard about dating in virtual reality, what do you think, honestly?
I kind of didn't know what to think. I've never tried VR, so it'd be my first time trying VR and then dating at the same time. But I'm kind of imagining like, I don't know if it's gonna be like a dinner date, if we're pretend eating, or if we're like at a park somewhere just talking to each other. I'm really interested to see what like this implies, what I'm gonna be doing during the date.
What's your expectation towards VR?
VR, I heard was really cool. I've never tried it personally, but I'm just imagining it'll be really lifelike and really similar to like a real date, but with more things to do because the possibilities are like endless when it comes to this technology.
Okay, if it's for you to find a date, let's say, if it's for you to find a date, would you be open to the idea of using VR dating?
Yeah, I think I'd try it, and if I like it, I'd keep using it. I think it's a safe way to meet people. You actually get to see them. I'm assuming you get to see their face, and I'm really interested in doing it.
Compared now to the future one point, like people were using VR for dating, how
Yeah.
far away do you think that would be?
Before people start using VR for
Yeah.
dating, I don't think traditional dating methods will necessarily go away, but I think a lot more people, if they have this, disposable to them, then they would use VR dating. Definitely without a doubt, because if it's fun, if it's interesting, I mean, why not?
Do you want to try?
Yes, I would love to try VR dating.
Okay, let's do our first question. Maybe
Right.
first of all, describe a typical first date like you might have had in the past.
Okay, so my first dates I've had in the past are normally at a bar or a restaurant. Normally at a bar because I don't want to be eating with a mouthful of food in front of someone I don't know. Yeah, just a couple of drinks, get to know each other. Pretty casual, really.
Okay, so do you like in past experience, do you feel sometimes a bit awkward, like you don't know what to do, what to say,
Oh yeah.
and you don't know what to do with your dates?
Yeah, on a first date I felt awkward pretty much every time. I don't think I'm alone there. Yeah, just because you don't really know each other, you have certain expectations perhaps, particularly if it's someone you've met online and you maybe looked at their profile, you have a certain perception in your head and then you're worried about what you say and what you look like and, so I just like to kind of just be myself. That's what I normally like to do.
Have you had like any first date where you feel that you really wanted to leave because there's no connection at all, but you feel a bit obliged to stay because you want to be polite?
Yeah. I've never had it where I really want to leave. Perhaps the girl has wanted to leave, maybe. But no, I've never had that situation happen to me before. Yeah. Is that enough answer?
Just be yourself.
Okay,
You
okay.
honestly, but that's no problem at all. Okay. Next question. Would you ever worry about the safety aspect of meeting a complete stranger for the first time?
No, I've never had to worry about safety meeting someone for the first time. I think perhaps if it was the other way around, maybe the female might have a little bit of anxiety with that. But no, I've never had a problem about safety or any worries or anything like that. No.
Have you ever tried any like VR dating app or dating website before?
I've not tried a virtual reality dating website, but I've tried dating apps, the main one being Tinder. I normally use it a little bit more just for kind of to have a bit of fun and just to waste time. I think a lot of people do that. Yeah, so it's kind of a mixed experience. I have met people on Tinder. Oh.
You haven't met anyone like from online to offline?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
You have, okay, so
Okay.
can you maybe say that again?
Okay.
I didn't catch you, sorry.
From the beginning, or?
Maybe if you can start from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the question again?
Oh, okay. Have you tried any VR dating like website?
Oh, okay.
And what's
So-
your experience with it?
Okay, so I've not tried a virtual reality dating app, but I have tried an online dating app called Tinder, which most people know about. And most I used it just to see what it was, a little bit curious, and it can be quite fun sometimes just to see people's images and see what people are up to. But I did meet someone on Tinder, and then we spoke a little bit. It seemed like we had quite a good connection. So we met up in person, had a drink. But she was very nice, and it was a good time, but there wasn't that spark, that little something that made me want to take it to the next point. So
if there is a kind of gap between the online person and offline reality.
Yeah, I think you can get to know somebody to a certain point through that normal app, so just messaging. But when you get to meeting them in person, it's completely different, and there is quite a big difference and a big bridge gap. So in a dating situation, I can imagine a lot of people, including myself sometimes, get quite nervous and apprehensive. They put a lot of pressure on the date, and they don't really be themselves. Really, they could be a very nice person and have a lot to offer and be a good match for the person, but because of that impression they give on the first date, and maybe falling over themselves a little bit, they don't always give the best impression. So perhaps virtual reality will bridge that gap. Yeah.
So basically, it's a pretend. Okay, let's say that you're meeting someone offline.
Yeah.
But there is a way. I mean, I guess you're very nervous.
Yeah.
Being seeing someone offline. But
Yeah.
if there is a way for you to behave like a normal you, very confident and
Yeah.
a nice person like a normal you,
Yeah.
would you like to use this kind of method?
Okay. Yeah.
Something like that.
I think a tool that helps you be yourself, be confident, is definitely something very useful for sure. Being yourself, I think, is very important when you're trying to match with someone, because they want to see the real you, not this show you for the first date, you know. So if you can find a way to be yourself and be natural, and a tool that helps you to do that, that'll definitely be quite important.
If you have this ability, there's a tool for you to behave naturally, because if offline during for the first
Yeah.
date, would that make you know the girl like more, better and more efficient?
Yeah, I think it'll, especially for her, she might be very nervous as well and not being herself. So if you're both yourself, then yeah, I think this will be very useful in the future.
Would that save you time, let's say?
Oh, okay.
Without guessing things, you know.
Maybe one day get a girl.
So
Like, I mean, the question is, okay, would that help you to save time to without like guessing each other, like if you were satisfying me or not, if I'm saying the right thing?
okay.
Would that help you to maybe go straight forward and be natural
Okay.
and be more efficient? I think what he wants is like, would that tool help you to be more efficient in
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
communication as well?
Yeah, I think the tool definitely save time might not be the right word, but get to know the real person easier, faster. So effectively, yeah, it will save you time in the future.
Okay.
When it comes to total time it takes you to, let's say, find someone to date,
Yeah,
arrange the date itself, and the actual date.
yeah.
How much time would you say each date would take you on average?
I think you're talking weeks with each date. It can take that long. I suppose it depends on the person, but I myself like to get to know them a little bit, or as much as I can through the app that I have available, until the point you think, yeah, I actually like this girl. We can take it to an in-person meet. So it can take quite a long time, usually a few weeks. That's been my experience in the past anyway. It's been a few weeks.
Okay, 4 weeks like to know someone. Now how about arranging the date and then the date itself? Do you know how much time?
Okay, so maybe from matching online to the actual meeting in person, that'll take a few weeks. But maybe a few days of talking, getting to know each other, and then plucking up the courage to say, do you want to meet in person? And from there, maybe a week, something like that. Depends on the schedule and the day, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
actual date itself, often a couple of hours. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the date is normally maybe a couple of hours, just chatting, having a drink, getting to know each other, maybe a little bit bite to eat. Yeah.
So do you feel like it's a very long time? You sometimes you get a bit impatient. You found it, you know, it takes too much time.
Yeah, it can take a long time, and especially, in my opinion, from the guy's side, you don't want to come off too keen, because then you know what's going on here. He could be crazy. So there's definitely a level of patience that you have to have through the process.
And how about yourself? You think you are in the more patient side, or me, like I wanted to go ahead quicker?
I try to be more patient. I'm trying to make myself look cool, you know, even though I might not be cool, but that's the impression I'm trying to give. Not too eager, not too desperate. So I like to just take my time and be casual with it. Yeah.
If there is a way that can really help you speed up the process, but still make you feel very patient, not too desperate, would you like to try this kind of method?
Yeah, I would like to try it. Yeah, I don't think you can rush it too much, these things, but definitely you don't want to waste weeks and your time. You know, so if there's a way that can, you still have the process of getting to know each other, because I think that's one of the cool things about dating, that we don't really know each other. You're getting to know each other. I think that's pretty important. But if there's a way that can make that more efficient, then yeah, that's something I'd like to explore.
You want me to repeat again? If there's something like starting by yes, but something like if there's a way can maybe make the whole dating process, like knowing each other process, maybe use your own word, faster, but not making me feel too rushed. Something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
That would be great.
Okay.
Something like this.
Okay. Next question.
Okay.
So if there's a way that can make the process more efficient without over rushing it, then yes, this is something I would like to explore and use.
Have you tried VR set?
Yes, I've used it before, not too often. It was at a convention, and it was more gaming than an app. So I think one game was we were flying around trying to catch these little tokens. It was a pretty cool experience. And then the other game was a zombie game where they were coming at you. I think they had like a knife or a gun or something like that. And I really enjoyed the experience, because I have no background with this before, and you can almost get lost in the headset and you lose perception of where you are, and it's pretty cool technology. I like it.
When you first heard about dating in virtual reality, what do you think, honestly?
When I first heard about it, I honestly didn't know what to think, because I think this is the first app of its kind, so I didn't have any kind of perceptions of what it is or what it can do. Yeah.
Do you feel that it might be a weird idea?
A little bit strange at first, just because I have no real background with virtual reality or using it. But I think once people are educated and get to know the technology a little better, they'll be definitely open to it and want to use it.
If it's for you to find a date, would you be open to the idea of using VR dating?
Yeah, I would be open to it, for sure. I think a kind of person who is open to it at this page is into technology and exploring new things, and that's one of the things I like to look for from a partner. So yeah, I would like to use it.
Do you like to give a try the VR dating?
Yes, I really would like to try it. Very interested.
Maybe VR dating.
Okay. Yes, I would like to try the VR dating. I'm very interested and excited to use it.